Welcome to the May 16th Downtown Design Review Committee. We do have quorum, so, okay, Paul, I didn't mean to steal your thunder on that. So, silence your cell phones. And we're going to do things a little bit out of order today because of some things that are going on. So, and we might go ahead and give Ike a call, Paula. Okay. Okay, roll call.
Betsy Brunstetter.
Present.
Gigi Faulkner. Charles Ainsworth.
Coming.
Ike Aiken one day. Stan Carroll. Here. Connie Skohorn. Here. Richard Tannenbaum.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Great. There are no continuance requests. There are no consent docket items. There are no cases. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Has everyone had the chance to read the minutes? And hopefully you have. So do I have a motion?
Move to approve, Madam Chairman.
Any opposed? You know, I'm getting really confused today.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
You'd make a great chairman. Okay, the minutes are approved. No continuance request, no consent docket items, no cases withdrawn. The first item on cases for individual consideration is 1200 North Walker. Is the applicant present?
Catherine Montgomery with the Preservation and Design Studio.
Catherine, do you want to tell us what the item is that you're bringing forth today?
Yes. Hello again. Actually, what I'd like to do is take a look at your staff report and just make a kind of a clerical correction. The applicant the owner is actually Ambassador Hotel OKC LLC, as indicated on page 1 of 6 of the attachments. Instead of Midtown 1200 North Walker, that's old information. And today we have a few items left to resolve before we're cleared on this aspect of all of our permitting process. The first thing has to do with, is indicated here as fencing and retaining wall that actually encloses the transformer. I was under the impression that we were also here to finalize the location of the transformer based on the impact that has on the location of the fence and the wall. I will say that we have undertaken an artist's rendering. It's in process, but one of the things that we discovered in that process is that 9 feet is too tall, and we have at least reduced that to 8 feet, and we'll continue to try to reduce that even more. But at this moment, the height of that wall is actually being reduced. So the main thing I'm interested in is being able to place a transformer, and I would love to get approval for the fence and the retaining wall, but if not, then I would request that maybe staff be able to continue to work through that item with us instead of having to come back to the committee itself. I think that's all I got.
So, have we ever gotten an illustration of what the fence looks like?
There's a detail on page
CA 4.05.
Right.
That's just a section. Oh, here it is. Sorry.
6.
It's just your standard. I mean, it's pretty standard these days. Painted finish aluminum, kind of metal-looking ornamental fence with straight pickets and the little circles at the top. That's the same fence whether it's 4 feet tall or 8 feet tall.
And a concrete retaining wall around the back and sides of it?
Correct. We have 4 to 5 feet of grade that we're holding back at that point. There's already a retaining wall that's holding back soil along the building line, so this just kind of continues that same retaining wall.
Is the height of the retaining wall governed by the amount of soil depth that you're withholding, or is it actually part of a handrail extending above the adjacent grade?
As it appears before you today, on the sides, half of it is retaining, we'll just say roughly half of it is retaining, and half of it is a substitute for handrail. Then on the back, half of it is retaining, and the other half of it is going to be the back of a fireplace feature that faces north onto the plaza.
Is the fireplace feature a movable piece of furniture or something?
No, it's built, no. It's a linear feature that,
Oh, okay. Have we approved that, or?
There was a fire feature approved in the previous plans. The fact that it's been relocated, we can bring it back again if you want to look at it again, or we can administratively look at it.
So how tall is it, Catherine?
8 feet total. That would be the max.
fireplace feature?
From 11th Street, that's correct. That's the wall plus the fire feature. It's very low. From the plaza side, it's 4 feet.
I don't think I need to see it again.
This particular iteration was what came before you the last time we were here.
Okay.
The fire pit feature disappeared around December or January.
Okay. Any other questions, Dan?
What are they calling it? Is it called the Ambassador?
Yes, it's called the Ambassador Hotel. It's part of a line of hotels that have been branded
They're not
now.
calling it the Austin?
No.
I thought at one time it doesn't matter.
We were kind of calling it until we really knew what direction things were going to go, just for the purposes of our drawings and project-related information. Yeah. But it's been decided, it's the Ambassador.
I was confused. Move to approve, Madam Chair.
Do I have a second? That was a Tannenbaum-Carroll motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much for being here. You are approved.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you're bringing back? No?
It's a moving target.
How's it going?
Well, construction is moving very quickly.
Great.
We need to be
Exciting.
finished by the end of the year, so that's our goal.
I think it was Jane Jenkins that gave a nice review on it yesterday at the Mayor's Roundtable.
Yeah, all that activity in town.
And she said there's going to be a restaurant on the top?
The restaurant's on the first floor, and the bar is on the 7th floor, and you'll have some nice views looking back to downtown from that perspective.
Okay, excellent. So we have a little issue with the next item for individual consideration. So we need to go on to other business and waiting for the commissioners to show. Is Ike coming? Do they know where he is at his office?
Why, do you have to recuse yourself?
I will need to recuse myself.
What if I give you a special dispensation?
If you give me a, yeah, we'll move on. We'll wait till Chuck gets here.
Oh,
so.
because it's
Hedge our
from
bets.
your firm. Nice.
Yeah, you see Scott. Scott's out there.
Let's elect some people.
Okay. So we do have some other things to do today. One of the things that we need to do is elect the officers, chair and vice chair. And if you want to create some other offices, we'd have to change our bylaws.
I nominate Betsy Brunstetter to be the chair and G.G. Faulkner to be vice chair.
Do you want to discuss this?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, then I thought we might talk about, we might have Scotty on the spot here to talk about the various administrative approvals.
G.G. Faulkner.
Scotty, can you do that?
We've had a lot of Thunder banners this month, and we've had some demo in preparation for the Cordish Shore Park. You might want to take a look at your item number DTCA 1300034. That's Brian Fitzsimmons' new parking structure with his mesh screen panels. And that's really the only things that are really out of the ordinary. We did have a little bit of revision to the school, little minor revisions to the John Rex Elementary on Sheridan. Any questions?
Okay, now, I think we've worked out a deal. So, thank you for being here, Chuck. Chuck Ainsworth has arrived. We have a couple of people on the commission that have worked on the project, and I have worked a little bit on the architecture, and Connie has worked on the landscape. The next project is, and if the person representing the next project could come forward. It's the police headquarters building.
Scott Dedman with ADG.
Well, Connie did not work on the architecture. And I don't know if we need to, if we can divide it into two different votes, one for landscape and one for architecture.
Are we approving the landscaping plan?
Item 7 has landscaping. Item 8 has screening and fencing.
Connie, did you work on screening and fencing? Okay. Maybe item 7.
Can they split the items on the approval so that they don't vote on things that they have worked on directly? I can see that.
Like, okay, explain to me what you're doing on how you're splitting.
What'd she say?
Can develop a landscaping plan and not follow the plan. I'm just trying to.
Right, but if they're abstaining, they need to remove themselves from the committee, and they will no longer be present. Well, the only thing, if you have to abstain, then you have to remove yourself from the committee, and so you would no longer be present for the vote for a quorum. And if you feel like you don't have a conflict on part of it, then you wouldn't have to abstain. So I don't know exactly what part you all are wanting to split, but
Pardon me. Can the applicant split that into two parts? Talk about the landscape and this,
Sure.
and you don't have a conflict with the landscape.
absolutely no, Connie.
Slightly.
Okay.
I think he's pretty quick. He can catch on to this.
I think we can handle this, yeah.
Okay, so if you want to talk about the, I'm going to name
Well,
Dick Tannenbaum as the temporary chair.
I think it would be best if we talked about the building first,
Please identify yourself and proceed.
I'm Scott Dedman with ADG, and I'm joined with by Sarah Scully, who's the project leader on the police and courts, or on the police project, police headquarters. You want to
Tell us about your project.
Okay, you want us to go ahead and jump?
Only the architectural, don't mess with the
Okay.
landscape.
Well, I won't talk about landscaping at all. We were in front of you guys, I think it was in February or March, and kind of gave you the overview of the police and courts project, the entire thing. And today we're back to talk just about the police headquarters project that we're working on and seeking approval. So this is the view of the entire Civic Center complex. And of course, our site is the existing parking lot that is just south of the current police headquarters. And you can see how the entire complex is going to work together with the new municipal courts and the Civic Center. Of course, we've got the City Hall, we've got the Museum of Art, and the county courthouse in that location. And one thing we were very cognizant of, and we talked about this the last time, but was how these projects, or this project in particular, is going to fit into the context of the Civic Center complex as a whole. So you can see our site highlighted in red in the back. And of course, one of the things that we did was to look at the surrounding buildings and how they might have an effect on the projects that we were working on. And so this is a shot of the Civic Center. And one of the things that's real prominent in all of these civic buildings, again, are the way the fenestrations are dealt with. And they're usually very tall and vertical, and they are grouped in different ways. One of the other things that you see a lot of is the decorative metalwork that are screens for the windows. The materials were a thing that we were very concerned about, with the limestone material very prominent, also the tan brick in these civic buildings. Of course, the City Hall building, again, you'll see the groupings of very vertical fenestrations, and also the limestone. And again, at the county courthouse, the same thing, really very extreme vertical openings, as well as a lot of the metal detail work. And those are things that we're trying to reflect in the new design. And then we're surrounded by a lot of other buildings that also affect the design. Once you get down toward this end of the site, we do start seeing some red brick buildings. Of course, the county jail is kind of a blend of red brick and tan brick. We also have some things like the Choral Directors Association that's a tan brick. The Museum of Modern Art, which is one of the more contemporary buildings in that location, even though it was the addition of to an existing historic building. But again, a large glass atrium that fronts the street, and lots of, again, the metallic details and the lettering. So I'm going to let Sarah's been working on the project for several months now. I'm going to let Sarah talk a little bit more about the actual design and materials that we're using. And I'll be Vanna.
Okay. Hello, I'm Sarah Scully. Scott just spoke to you about the local vernacular and our working with that and keeping in that spirit. The other aspect of the police headquarters is the nature of the building. It's for the men and women who protect and serve us, and so this building needs to protect and serve them. So we've pulled it back from the property lines. It has limited public use. We have secure entries for all of the staff, and it is an essential building in the building code. It's a category 4. Whoop, wrong way. Sorry, everybody. And I'm going backwards. Sorry.
I was going to say, that building got old quick.
It did, didn't it? And ugly. I'm
There.
sorry. Those are little homely buildings. There we go. Pardon? So this is the overall site plan, and you can see how the building has been pulled back from the property lines and the right-of-way. And the reason being is it's considered a high-risk building for terrorist attack by the Department of Defense and the Department of Homeland Security. And though this isn't a federal building, again, we need it to withstand attack in, if there was one, or an earthquake or heavy winds or that sort of thing. But this is allowing it to be at least 30 feet back from the property line where a vehicle could even park or drive. And in the case that that vehicle had a bomb in it, it is enough of a blast distance so that the building would still stand. There is also a low retaining wall around the building that creates a natural buffer instead of having bollards, so it is a vehicle stop, essentially. And then there are bollards along the Colcord Drive where the building opens up and becomes more friendly to the public. On the right-hand side, you'll see the secure parking area where the police chief will park and his deputies, but also there's a vehicle evidence storage building where vehicles that are involved in crimes are brought in and investigated. I'm sorry, everybody. Got it. So this is an aerial view, and in this view you can see a little bit better the height of that retaining wall. It isn't monumental. It's about 30 inches above the sidewalk, so it has a gracious feel to the pedestrian walking by. You can also see that it's in line with the existing property management building at the top of the slide, which is in line with the screening wall that screens our backup generator. Again, this is an essential building, so this backup generator is huge to power the entire building for a 24-hour period. Scroll. This is the north facade. Looking from Colcord, this is the public entrance. And you can see the hearkening back to the vertical windows, the red brick, the tan brick. There's the glass 3-story atrium that's definitely marking this as the public entry. It's inviting, and yet it is also stately.
Would you guys like to see any of the material samples? Or?
You want us to pass them around? Okay.
And that brick is actually the brick that was used on the expansion of the Civic Center.
Does it need to talk into the mic to be recorded?
One of the requirements of the Downtown Design Review Committee is that the first floor fenestration be at least 50% of materials, and on this facade we are 70% on the first floor, the ground floor. This is looking from Chartel. Here you're seeing a wider swath of windows, but then we have the vertical fenestration sun blades that harken back to the grills on the windows of the Civic Center. And there's CSMU to the
Way cool.
right of the slide with windows pulled back again from the facade to protect them, but also to harken back to the county courthouse. This is the view from Main Street. Blonde brick, CSMU, vertical windows. We have horizontal sunshades at these windows. And again, the vertical windows in the red brick here. This is the view from the secure parking lot. And this view really speaks to the decorative hat element that is a composite metal panel, the gray vision glazing, and then the blue vision glazing in the red brick. Here's some renderings of the Memorial Plaza, showing the metal panel, the gray vision glazing, the blue vision glazing, and the spandrel, blue spandrel. This is a metal panel as well. We have stainless steel clad column covers, stainless steel bollards. This is a view from Main Street with the sign with the raised letters, CSMU, blonde brick, vertical sunshades, horizontal sunshades, Project 180 street lights. the lower retaining wall. And then this is a view of the Memorial Plaza with the Bosque elms, the granite benches. What? Oh, sorry. Scratch that. And again, the entry element with the, we fondly call this the hat, with the composite metal panel and the gray vision glazing that reaches out to the public, and the city seal marking this as a civic building. So that's the end of our presentation.
Would be happy to answer your questions.
Any questions, Commissioner? It's a phenomenal building. Excellent work by ADG. Any questions at all? Do we have a motion? Anybody in the audience that hates this project? Anybody who likes this project? Here he is. Do we have a motion? I'm sorry. Oh, all items were, your motion should not include item 7 because we have an issue.
So it would be items 1 through 6, 8, and 9.
Do I have a motion here? Yeah. Are you working? Okay, fine, no problem. Take a break. Excellent.
Okay, so
Hill
I'd like
City
to
is going to be
move
way happy.
approval.
Finally. How did Jim Couch approve this thing? He likes it too? Good.
I'd like to move approval for items 1 through 6, is that right?
And 8.
And 8?
And 9.
That's pretty
And
clear.
9.
With the condition that they receive a variance to the setback.
Correct. Do I want to read the rest of it? Okay.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Congratulations. Fantastic. About time.
Now do we need
Okay.
to talk about the landscaping?
Let's go ahead and finish the recommendation. Since this included the building and it needs the recommendation of the Board of Adjustment, you need to make a motion to either ask for, to recommend approval of the variance to the setbacks.
Okay, I approve the application on the
Make a motion
basis...
to approve.
You move
I'm
to
sorry.
recommend approval.
Hey, you're going to get there. You're going to be the next chair. Don't worry about it. You move to approve.
I move to approve the application on the basis that the project complies with the regulations and guidelines as referenced in Section C of the staff report, with the condition
To recommend.
that the applicant receives a variance to the build-to-line requirements of the downtown design district zoning regulations.
That's the one we just,
Okay, yeah. Go down to item number 2.
And I move approval to provide a recommendation of approval to the Board of Adjustment for a variance to the required build-to-line.
Can I have a second? Second. All in favor? All opposed? Terrific. Let's switch out commissioners and talk about some landscaping. Don't leave, folks. Oh, I got to give it up.
You feel the power, huh? Okay,
Okay, should we start all over from the beginning?
I think you might just address how the building site,
Okay, I was just kidding. Let's,
you are?
yes. We'll just go over the landscaping real quickly and just the orientation of the building. So directly to the north of the building is the Memorial Plaza, and it's a hardscape plaza, and I'll show another image of that. But that is the main entry of the building, again, hardscape. The building is set back about 30 feet from the property line and from the retaining wall. So like Sarah said, there is about a 30-inch retaining wall, and the landscaping steps up at that point to create the landscaping.
So what's the surface area? What is the, like, is it grass or?
I'll show that in some images. Around the perimeter of the building, we are trying our best to kind of come to a blend between the work that's being done on the Project 180 and also the work that's being done on Film Row, so that we're matching pavers, we're matching the plantings that are being used, and also the street lighting in those areas. So you can see, again, the raised bed. It serves as our security setback, but it also serves as as part of our landscaping. And again, you can see the street trees, again, very similar to what's being done for Project 180 and also for Film Row. Skip through these. Okay, so you can start to see some of the entry. There's some, I just went blank on the plant materials, but some lower plant materials similar to 180. We do have a basque of elm trees that are located in the Memorial Plaza. Again, this is all a hardscaped area at the main entry. This is the Chartel and Main corner, where you can see the retaining wall. It is a concrete retaining wall, an architectural concrete retaining wall, and it will be a light gray color to it, not concrete, but a little bit darker gray tone. A granite sign with the Oklahoma City Police Headquarters on it as part of that. And then in the raised areas, that is an assortment of different types of ground covers that stay low. And we want to keep that low so we prevent any opportunities for any bombs or devices to be left in the landscaping around the building. So we want that open and pretty easily visible. And again, this just looks back at the, I went the wrong way here. And then you can see more of the Memorial Plaza, the landscaping, again, in different bands of types of ground cover, and then the basque of elm trees, and some low granite walls that come up out of the hardscape that also act as vehicle barriers in that hardscaped area. We do have some decorative lighting of light poles similar to what you would see around the Devon building. And again, the same fixtures that are being used for Project 180. So that's a quick view of the landscaping. It's fairly simple. Again, we want to keep it low intentionally, so no large trees directly adjacent to the building.
Okay, any questions? Do we have a motion?
Regarding item 7, landscaping and site amenities, I make a motion to approve the application on the basis that the project complies with the regulations guidelines as referenced in Section C of the staff report, with the condition that the applicant receives a variance to the build-to line requirements of the downtown design district zoning regulations, and to provide a recommendation to approve to the Board of Adjustment for a variance to the required build-to line.
No. I think
What?
just the motion for 7 is good, but you made it. So.
Okay, very good.
So that was a Carol Tannenbaum motion. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you very
Great.
much for
Thank you.
being here. You're approved. And with that, I believe that we have gone through the entire agenda, and correct me if I'm wrong. Have we? Have we hit
Except
all
for the, talking about the next meeting date.
Okay.
We will have cases that.
Yeah, we elected officers. You're the president. Okay. Our next regular committee meeting is June 20th. The applications have already been submitted as of yesterday. Do we have very many applications?
2 that I know of. We're going to be reviewing for a mural.
Do we have? Has the Arts Commission reviewed it already?
They will have done that 2 days before our meeting.
Okay.
Grain elevator deal?
No, that's in the Scenic River. It's one we've seen before. It was on 9th Street.
Oh, that one. It's coming back? Okay. No, 9th Street.
Oh,
It's the womb?
We'll include whatever's going to be on the next agenda on the packet that we send out, since we didn't have it on this month's agenda.
Okay. All righty. So with no further ado, we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, Dick.